Okay, here we go. The ultra personal Q&A. I am very unprepared, but let's just jump into it, shall we? You guys asked some cool questions. Some questions I'm definitely afraid of answering as well, but we're gonna do it. Let's start off easy. So this one comes straight from Jennifer. This is the very first question that actually made me think of doing the personal Q&A. And she just asked, have you moved away from cinematic videography shots for more real life shots? And the answer to that is yes. I don't know, I found that in videos, especially internet videos, that, I don't know, sometimes trying to make things cinematic is just unnecessary, and in fact it takes away from a scene. Like if something's real life, I think, then it should just be shot real life. If I feel like doing videography, like real videography, I'll throw in a couple of seconds. But to be honest, I think YouTube got very oversaturated with that type of stuff, and so that's why I've completely stopped right now. I don't like putting in cinematic things anymore. It's weird, but it feels unnecessary to me, and I just want to create stuff, like you said, Jennifer, that is real life. I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. I know it, I definitely am going to pronounce your name wrong, but this is how I've pronounced it in my head ever since, like, basically I've seen you. But caricatura. No, I pronounce it like caricatura. That's how I always pronounce it in my head. I know that is probably completely not how you pronounce it, man. And I'm sorry. But you asked a load of questions, and the very first one that I want to answer of yours is, what you're asking is if you think something's not worth it, or if you're kind of questioning yourself of if it basically is a video good enough. If you're questioning yourself if your video is good enough, should you post it, should you not? My answer is completely depends. It completely depends, but for the most part, man, post it. Just post it. When it comes to YouTube, when it comes to making videos, if you're not doing one a week, if you're finding yourself procrastinating, you need to post. So that it's actually like, it's major, okay? Like, first of all, whatever work you're doing it's not always going to be your best work all the time. It's the most annoying thing ever, but sometimes you're going to put out a video that's not great. I've done it plenty of times where I felt like, I don't know, that the video is lackluster, and that kind of kills me, but you simply just have to put it out. Otherwise you'll just completely stop creating completely. So in your case, man, I think you should post it, definitely. First of all, because I've watched your channel, I've watched a load of your videos. You need to just keep experimenting, man. Definitely get out more videos, even if you don't think they're any good, even if you think they're dog shit. Like, post them, and when you find something that you really like making, then try to like make it better and better and better and better. That's how I would think of it. But for the moment, experiment, don't care too much if you're kind of starting out. So yeah, that's the answer to that one. Where do I see myself in 5 years? That comes from Ollie. If you asked me that like 2 years ago, I would have answered confidently. And to be honest, the 2 years in this period have not gone as expected. But I'll tell you where I'd love to be in 5 years. Yeah, in 5 years, definitely I would have blown up on YouTube at least. I would have created a format of video that people love and that is definitely unique. So I feel like just my YouTube channel or something in social media, whatever creativity I have, I'm going to package it in a way that people are going to love. And I want that to happen in the next, I'd love for it to happen in the next 2 years, but who knows? Next 5 years, it better happen, otherwise I'm screwed. So yeah, I want to like basically already have like a thriving channel that has definitely pushed myself into the upper echelons of social media, so that I can help create like businesses surrounding that. Because look, social media is so flippant. Like you can, like, it's so hard to make money off it. Like you just, or at least for me, I don't know, I can't, yeah, I can't make any money off it really. And I don't know many people that do, to be honest. But the thing is, to give it longevity, that's a different story. So what I want to do in the next 5 years, I don't know if I'll be living in Ireland. That's a good question. You know what? I doubt it. I actually doubt I'd be living in Ireland. I don't know where I'd be. Maybe England. I'd love to say the US, but I don't know. Probably not living here. I've got a nice channel, a channel that's doing well, where the format is down to a T, and I'm busting my absolute ass off all the time creating videos. That's where I want to be, but also in the background. And this will definitely have to happen, like within 5 years. If I'm not doing this, I'd almost like shoot myself in the head. I need to create businesses surrounding social media or something like that to some extent. So like, you know, what I'm trying to do now is oh crap. Right. So as you've seen, I'm doing videography at the moment. Yeah, because I can use a camera. I'm pretty good at it, all that shebang. And just by word of mouth, now I'm getting a lot of gigs. And that's happened in the last month. It's been crazy. However, it's so time consuming. So why don't I create a business where I can have someone else do that for me, basically, and try and be a manager and just run a company, okay? I want to do something like that, basically start a company, but in like some sort of social media sphere. Like I'd love to do a talent agency. That's what, like, weirdly enough, I'd love to do that. Like one thing I can say about myself, especially in Ireland, is I network really well. I know all the like YouTube influencers here, or a lot of them. And I don't know, I just get on really well with people, and I really like networking. And I realized that I really want to help other people succeed. That's the main thing. So I'd love to do something business related that like helps talent. That's what I want to do. I think that's going to be cool. So I want to build that. 5 years time, probably not in Ireland, but I'd be helping people out in Ireland with some sort of talent agency thing, and I'd have my own social media thing going on that will like attract other talent in that I can help. Like, all right, Team 10. I'd love to start another Team 10. That's what I want to do. Now, again, this has come from Caricatura again. Sorry if it's pronounced completely wrong. I'm so sorry, man. I just don't know. You'll actually have to tell me. What advice would you give to others that you like? What advice would you give to others that want to create but can't find a way to keep doing it? That question is 100% about passion and motivation. If you want to create, you need to figure out what the barrier is. What is the barrier? Like, what is stopping you from creating? Is it your passion? Is it like you don't lack the motivation to it? Does the project you want to do sound too hard? Does it mean you have to pull in a load of friends to do something, but your friends just aren't into it? You need to figure out what your barrier is and somehow either smash through it or completely go around it. So in my case, I find it's so hard to get friends to do things. I can never get like consistent people all together all the time, which I really want to do, but like that's hard because I find it hard to organize people, and that's definitely a barrier to me. So that's why I had to kind of create solo content, but it just depends on your barrier. I would say that in some ways the main way to get by a barrier like that is to give yourself a schedule. And giving yourself a schedule is crap because you have to rely on it, but make a video every week. That's how I would say it, man. You need to make a video every week. Have a day. If you have a day, then you will stick to that schedule no matter what. Whether like if you're losing motivation, it doesn't matter. You have to make the video. So you mightn't even be feeling it. And this happens to me all the time. I mightn't actually be feeling like making a video, but I do it anyways. And I'm really delighted I did it. There's loads of times I do things that I'm not entirely sure of or don't even feel like, and I'm delighted that I did them in the end. So that could be a thing for you. I would say give yourself a schedule and just stick to it. Find videos that you can make all the time, and then progressively get more ambitious. Yeah, I think that's my answer there, man. Like it's not easy. Creating all the time is tiring, but if you love it, you'll do it. And if you give your schedule, even if your love dips, you'll do it. So that's what you need to do. This is where things get a bit more juicy, I think. Ollie asks, which quality about yourself are you most proud of, and which one would you like to change? Okay, so I'm proud of, what was it? Like my determination, I guess. I'm definitely someone who's like very determined, and if I want something, I just don't stop going for it. I'm definitely a very driven guy, and I'm really proud of that quality that I have. Like if I didn't have that, I'd just be lazy. I'm delighted. In fairness, like out of all my like whatever about my personality, I'm so glad that I want to do something for myself, and I will do it. This is the difference. I'm driven to the point that if I'm going to do something, it's happening. It's not like, oh, I'd like to do that. I'm doing it. Now, what I'm not proud of and what I'd like to change, I'm kind of a procrastinator. And I know that sounds like completely the opposite of what I just said, but I'm a bit of a procrastinator. It's not that I'm lazy, because I'm not lazy, but it's kind of like my time management is crap. I make myself too busy. I can't like time manage, and then something goes out the window. So it's not exactly procrastination, but like it also, this is a weird thing to shoehorn in, but basically like if I know I have to do a load of things the next day, and if I could just get up at like 6 a.m. and just start doing them, that doesn't happen. So I hate myself for that. If I could just get up earlier and be more efficient all the time, that's like a big weakness of mine. Like, although I'm determined, my passion kind of dips all the time. And if my passion has a dip, then I find it very difficult to do something like sustained. So like in a full day, yeah, my passion might have dipped, but that means I won't do something in the morning and I'll be beating myself up, but I will get around to doing it, but I wish I was way more efficient and not as procrastinating about it. Yeah, all right, that's my answer for that one anyways. All right, Carrie Katura, would you like to do a collab video with your patrons? That's just collabs are a bit of a can of worms. Basically my straight answer is, the answer is yes. I would do a collab with basically anyone, and yes, I would do it with my patrons, with you guys. I don't know why I'm talking in third person, but I'm not. I find collabs really hard to mix into my videos. Usually the style completely changes from the last video, and then there's no congruency. And if I have to come up with the idea, I often find that someone like asks me to collab, and that they leave it at that. And I'm like, all right, so does that mean I have to come up with the idea and I have to do all the work? That happens all the time to me. So I find people are always like, hey, when are we collabing? When are we doing this? And I'm like, man, all you have to do if you want to make a video with me is like, make content for me. Create something cool. Like, you know, what if you had a load of snakes and you had snakes that could swim in water, and you were like, hey, Dara, you can, man, if you want to make a collab with me, like I've got this pool and we've got loads of snakes in it. And I'll be like, that's a video, you know, there you go, collab, easy, done. It will happen. That's all that needs to happen when it comes to collabs. You need to provide the value. So what I find is, to be honest, 100% of the time, and ever since I've been on social media, not one person that has asked me for a collab has ever come with a solid idea and said, hey, this is something I think you'd be interested in. Is that a video you'd like to do? I will make that video happen for you. So that's my issue with collabs in some ways. That's how you collab with people. There you go. You give them something to do. Don't make them work for it. Yeah, I do quite a few collabs, but the videos just aren't my favorite a lot of the time. Yeah. Hope that answers. Harry asks, what's your biggest fear? Okay, so that one kind of goes into maybe the 5-year one that Ollie asked. My biggest fear would just be not being successful and kind of having to go back to a life of like something else being laid down. I feel like I just want to I really, really, really want to make my life special in some way, or just be like the most exciting, crazy thing I could possibly imagine. And I really want that. And my biggest fear is for that not happening, and for me having to go back to a more like kind of straight and narrow life. Because I feel like I was in that sort of rut at one stage, and it just didn't suit me. And I was like, here, I need to do something with my life. So basically, my biggest fear is not doing something with my life, not doing something impactful, meaningful, and fun and energetic. That is it. Yeah. So it's like not being successful. That scares the absolute shit out of me. Yeah. All right, here, Ollie asked this one as well. What is your guilty pleasure? And I actually know exactly what it is because this relates to YouTube as well. My guilty pleasure is probably watching like a Jake Paul vlog. Man, I love Jake Paul. Like I watch loads of his videos. I think he might be like, like whatever your opinion is of him. Yeah, he's definitely like a bit of an asshole. 100%, but his videos are so entertaining. I know they're geared to like much younger people, but I think they're some of the best videos going completely. That's Jake Paul is my guilty pleasure, 100%. All right, Ollie, you asked as well, what have you done in your past that has got you in the most trouble? Oh my Lord. I actually had to write this one down. I had to think about like what it was because, to be honest, I'm pretty good at not getting in trouble. I couldn't really think of many things. I've definitely thought of things that I did that was pretty bad and no one caught me, or if someone caught me, I was able to wriggle out of it pretty well. So nothing has got me in that big of trouble. Yeah, but I'll give you an idea of something that like I thought I was going to be in. Yeah, I wasn't even in that big of trouble. But here's the story. I was in Mexico. I was riding on a motorbike. I literally got a motorbike that day. First time ever riding a motorbike. This is when I was doing some crazy traveling with one of my best friends, and we literally just got the motorbikes, hopped onto it, no license plates, no motorcycle license, anything like that. We got onto the road for the first time. I hadn't a clue how to ride a motorbike. It was scary as hell, and the very first thing we did was make like an illegal left turn that was like a U-turn type thing, because we hadn't a clue how even the rules of the road or whatever, and we did that right in front of like Mexican police. So yeah, as you can imagine, that wasn't good. That just the shock of them coming over and pulling us over was so fucking scary. Man, my heart was going through the roof. But anyways, in terms of getting in trouble from them and stuff, they were like, no license, no nothing. And basically they said, you can pay this huge fine. So they were about to fine us. And we're like, that's it. Well, whatever the fine was, it was huge. It would have meant that we couldn't even travel. We'd have to like wait until the fine processed for like a week, 2 weeks in that place. But we needed to leave like the next day. So that would have been absolutely crap. So instead, they were like, here, you can either pay the fine or you can pay us right now. And me, being a fucking idiot, thought I was like, all right, we can pay them right now and like at a much lower fee, like way lower. And so I started pulling out like my money. And as you guys can probably imagine, by them saying that you can pay like right now, that meant they were like, you can bribe us. And with a bribe, the police can't be seen to be taking bribes. So I started pulling out my like wads of cash and about to give them to the police, and they were like, put it down, put it down. And I had no idea what was going on. Again, because I'm a total idiot. Plus they were speaking like a good bit of Spanish, and I didn't know any Spanish at the time. So I was like, am I putting the wallet away? I thought you wanted to be paid. And I started pulling it out again, and they started going nuts. And I was like, oh my God, what am I at? And then it dawned on me that like, I was like, oh, me and Robert are bribing the police right now. So then I probably did like the most like obvious, overt type of bribing the police. I like got the cash and like literally flicked it into their car. in the most like, oh, all right, in that way. So it's just so weird. But anyways, that was kind of it actually. Like we didn't even get in that big of trouble. But I tell you what, man, that was scary as fuck. That was one of the scariest things. In the end, didn't really get in that much trouble. But like, I felt like it could have been. They did even try to scare us because we were literally gringos. So they did try and scare us by saying, "Oh, you're going to go to jail," and all this shit. So yeah, that was dead. Harry asks, "Can we be friends?" Yes, Harry, we can be friends. Let's be friends. And also, like I feel like on Patreon we can be friends. Like it's so much easier to talk here. Like that's one thing for sure. Like make sure, guys, if you want to ask me things, if you want to like message me, if you want to talk to me, do it. Because like we should be a family here. I can't believe that we're able to. I know there's only like 5 people on Patreon, but like it's still unbelievable. And yeah, I mean anyone that talks to me, I consider a friend. So yeah, Harry, we can be friends. Let's be friends. All right. All right. Yeah, this is the very last one. Comes from Jen. Jennifer, you went hard. You asked what's my darkest secret, and I do have it pretty, yeah. Patreon exclusive. I'm looking at the time now. We're far into the video, so I'm not sure how many people are going to watch this far. But yeah, my darkest secret. Are you ready? Okay. It's something I did, and I'm going to keep my voice a little lower. Like, I actually think it's funny, okay? I actually think this is funny, like, but it's so bad. So I did something really bad that I think is kind of funny. It's so bad. Oh my God. Right, I can't believe I'm about to tell you guys, but here we go. Okay, this is bad. Okay, basically, I just started university. And so my university is like about 3 hours. It was near Dublin. I'm in Sligo in Ireland, which is like 3 hours away from Dublin. And so I had to get a train to go to my new university. First time, was it my? Yeah, it was my first time like living outside of my hometown, and transport I realized was very expensive. So that was the main issue. Just so you know, guys, I'm very tight with money. Like or at least I can be. I can be really tight. And if there's any way I can, like, if there's a cheaper version of something, I'll probably go with it. So here, basically, I had to take the train like every weekend up to college, and I had like no money, and it was like €50 every time. I think so. It was €50, so it was like going to be like €50 a week, and I was like, that's way too much. So what I did was, I talked to my aunt, and I was just talking to her about like, getting the train and whatever. It's like expensive, and so basically, oh my God, this is bad. All right, so I've got 2 aunts. They live together. One of them, like, you'd consider her like mentally impaired. I mean that, like, so obviously the government give her like different benefits. One of those benefits being like a transport thing, so she'd get free transport. And so my other aunt was telling me this, how she gets free transport, and she was like, because my other aunt is her carer, that means she also gets a free transport pass. So what my aunt did was, she gave me that transport pass, and her like first name is Francis, and I mean it's not a guy's name, but basically I decided I would use that pass to try and get the train and just see what happened. And so I kind of went up, and ticket inspectors were looking very mean. And in that moment, I realized, oh my God, this is not going to work. They're definitely going to ask questions. That like, why is a carer traveling by himself? And he's definitely a student, basically. So what I did was, I pretended to be Down syndrome. Yeah. That's what I did. I literally pretended to be Down syndrome for a second. I properly went up to the ticket inspector with my pass, and like just tried to look, oh man, it's so bad. I tried to look kind of like slow, and like I started like limping and shit, and I can't believe I fucking did that. And the funny thing about it was your man like copped on straight away. He still knew I was a student, and I was there like putting on this act as if I was like I had Down syndrome, and it was probably the most low thing, the most like it's just the lowest thing I've probably ever done in my life. But I have to say, I think it's funny. But it was so bad. It was so bad. So yeah, I haven't really told anyone that, or like I told like one. I told my friend Niall that, and a girlfriend. That's it. Okay, that is probably like, if not my darkest secret, it's one of my darkest secrets. I pretended to be Down syndrome to try and get free travel on a train. And it also didn't work, and I had to leave and pay for a full adult fare, so that fucking bit me in the ass. All right, that is it. Thank you guys for the Patreon ultra personal Q&A, written down and everything. Guys, this has been class. I know this has been really long. I'm gonna, like, this one will be edited. It's all good. Okay, thank you so much for the questions, guys. And don't go telling people my deepest, darkest secrets, please. Until next time, see you guys. Bye. You're real crusty. You're like coming out of your fucking cocoon, man. Man, do you know how long you've been asleep for?
Not long enough, boy.
Man, you've been asleep the whole fucking time we're here, like. You've been asleep for like 3.5 hours or something.
Oh, I feel like shit.
Man, this is a long journey.
How are you?
What?
How are you?
Tired. Very tired. I have a few points. Yeah, the head on you, man. Look at your head! You're melted!
Oh, God. Oh, I look like shit.
Oh, no. Well, we're on the other side of the country. Say hello to Killarney.